We back. Ready to get up out of here. Ready to get up out of here. What it is. So they denied Durk bond. I mean, that bond hand rule is a waste of time, man. I ain't gonna lie. Hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Really hop on the road. Clemson Robert, what it do? What's up, Victoria? Let me take this off Wi-Fi as soon as I walk out. What it is? We is back. Yeah, we back. I need to cut this down some. Yo, what's up, man? Say denied Durk bond. Diddy can't find a jury. That shit crazy. Everybody in the world know about the Diddy case. It's not gonna be an impartial jury. They're gonna have to try that case in motherfucking Albuquerque, New Mexico, some motherfucking where. They can't even try that case in the United States, man. Everybody in their mother know about Diddy case. They made sure of it. You know what I mean? Just in case you didn't, they made sure you did. Broadcast on every platform. Yeah, I'll get the fuck out of here. And this is 12 o'clock. It's time to go. It's time to go. Police always be sitting right here, man. Be pissing me off. Ain't nothing going on. They just hold up there sit. It's time to get off the motherfuckers be right there. Every time I get off, motherfuckers be right there. Looting. What up, yo? I ain't grabbing my charger cord. Sure, fuck that. God damn it. I ain't grabbing my charger cord. Well, so what y'all think about Durk hand, man? Is anybody surprised? Yo, Durk was better off saying fuck that bail hearing because they kind of gave the United States government the angle that they was going to take their case. Kind of gave them the angle they was going to take their case. Because those arguments that Drew Finley made was better suited for trial. It was better suited for trial than the bail hearing. For the most part, your bail hearing is all about flight risk. Pure flight risk. It's about the charge, the manner in which the death or the crime was committed. But more importantly, I ain't gonna say more importantly, but flight risks play a major role, man. Danger to the community, flight risk. And United States government The United States government has been trying to display Durk as a danger to the community, bringing up all these uncharged crimes. You know what I mean? They bringing up uncharged crimes, man. Hold up, bro. Real Vanguard. The feds don't really have a case. That's the thing, bro. They playing with the numbers. It's saying it's stuck at 7 people, yo, but I know it's more than 7 people here. The feds don't really have a case other than their whole case is jail. The feds' whole case against Lord Durk is jail. He the whole case. They ain't got shit else. Hold on, y'all. Let me do this. Yeah, they playing games. Siobhan, what's up? Yeah, their whole case is jam, yo. And like Brian Steele said, I mean not Brian Steele, like Drew Finland said, nobody knows if he's even credible or not. Yo, we is back. Yeah, man. They got this man arrested because of a guy who couldn't take his motherfucking pistol charge. He couldn't take his pistol charge. So he decided to bring the whole house down. Yo, those guys will say anything, man. What if Jam get on the stand and recant? The United States government gonna look dumb as a bitch. You know, because them gangster rats do that. We watched it with Woody. Them gangster rats get on the stand and recant. Have a change of heart. You know what I mean? But I don't think Woody would have done that if Woody wasn't granted immunity. I don't even understand why they granted Woody immunity. I mean, well, I don't know, because he was acting like he was going to sit in jail, so I guess they ain't had no choice. But anyway, Charlene, what's up, Michael? But yeah, they don't really got no case though, y'all. They got text messages. But what the feds like to do though, this one of their little things. The feds like to introduce evidence real late into the trial process. You know what I mean? So Drew Finland said he hasn't got any information to date that implicates Durk in a murder for hire plot. That might just because the feds ain't released it yet. They might give him that shit 3 days before trial. You know what I mean? That's the type of dirty games they play. Said he was protecting witnesses or something. You know, we ain't want to release evidence who our witnesses was. That's the type of bullshit they do. What's up, Benji? Real probably somewhere lurking. Real be on some clown ass shit. Somewhere lurking for real. He pissed me off earlier. We trying to have a real conversation, you want to be trolling and shit. Can't troll every day, y'all. Sometimes we talk about real topics. And what we was talking about earlier was really deep in the fucking sucker. Damn, yo. Fuck, I did my life. Then they got Diddy. Diddy can't seem to find the jury. Everybody know about the case. Yo, I'm telling you, it's gonna be so hard to find a jury that don't know about that case. Is ridiculous, man. That man gonna end up with an all Indian jury. Everybody gonna be Indian, Hindu or something. You know what I mean? I think Diddy gonna be the first person in the United States with a whole Hindu jury. Everybody know about the case, especially white and black people. Hispanic people, maybe, to a lesser degree. But I'm sure white and black people know about Diddy case. A large percentage. Large percentage. We ready to get to the computer in a minute. Pull it up. Pull up the receipts. A lot was talked about in court. But like I said, when it comes down to Durk, yo, they playing the same game. They don't have nothing. So what they doing is they just resorting to slander. Now Durk, and they said this in the last hearing, and they brought it back up again today, that Durk supposed to try to get a witness family member killed. Like, yo, where's the evidence to that? That's probably something Jam told him. Jam a bitch. I can't stand them niggas like, yo. Instead of doing your time, you want to take everybody down with you. And I know it's him. And y'all know it took him to fight. But if you think about it, ain't nobody came to his defense. Nobody. Not a family member, not a mother, not a brother, nobody. Drug all through the mud. And ain't not one person be like, yo, no, yo, that's my cousin, yo, he ain't tell. In the world that we living in now, Jam down bad for that. He used 13. I told him I was going to bite him in the ass. He should have never got in that car with Loose Cannon either. Saying like they resorting to that's desperation. Because at the end of the day, yo, everybody does that. Those are desperate tactics, y'all. To sit there and say, yo, he using other people's call list or using other people's ID number. Like, yo, everybody does that. But they making that a point of contention in court to say that, look, he can't be trusted. He breaking rules in here. Yo, but come on, that's a common rule that everybody breaks, my nigga. Most niggas probably don't even know that shit is a rule, for real. Should never got on that call with these cannons. These cannons set them up for that. You let WAC 137 call it. $137 WAC. It's an uphill battle, man. If I was Durk, I wouldn't even waste my time at that bond here. But his father spoke up. His father said he looked strong, looked confident. You know what I mean? Like I was telling y'all earlier, yo, you ain't never supposed to let them people. You never supposed to show them people fear, man. You don't show them people no motherfucking fear. That's what they want to get from you. You don't give them what they want. Because no matter how much sympathy or remorse you show, they don't give a fuck about it. They still gonna give you life if they want to. I'd rather stand on it, 10 toes. Give me life this way. You ain't gonna give me that shit standing down. You will not give me life standing down. I fucking dropped my lighter. Y'all mad as shit. Then you got a Big U case coming up. Big U trying to get a speedy trial, but his co-defendants ain't. All they're gonna do is go over speed trial rights. Until they go over them bitches every day. I don't need they need to take that shit out of the law. Cause they violate the shit out of people. Yeah, hey Rob, if you notice, y'all, I try to stay away from loose cannon. Cause I'm confused. You know what I mean? I'm confused by this whole loose cannon shit. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know if him back when they play. I think both them niggas right. But now you got one rat. You got one rat calling out the other rat. I don't like nothing about it. Yeah. Yeah, I see what they try to do to Smokey. I ain't even checked into it yet. They trying to muddy his name before he died. You know, typically what they do to black men. Yeah, man. You can't die with a clean slate. No, we gotta swindle you first. You gotta let all your demons out. Alright? Gotta let your demons out, Smokey. Getting up there in age. You know you fucked around a lot out here. That's all that shit be for real. Another slander campaign. More likely they ain't gonna get no money. Just a slander campaign. Like the one they ran against Diddy. Slander campaign. Hey yo, for real. Yo, all the content creators that lied about this Diddy case and them lawsuits need to come over this bitch and apologize, man, for having me being antagonist, for me being for keeping it real when they was over that bitch line. Yeah, they trying to do Smokey right. So what they saying he did? I haven't looked into it yet, man. This fucking job is occupying all my damn time. I haven't even got a chance to look into it for real. I seen the headline. What they say? What they were saying he was on some that shit right there. Fuck, they were saying he was on some Bill Cosby shit or something. Are they saying Smokey Bill Cosby on the law? Like I say, yo, they always do it. They always do it. They try to go back 30, 40 years to Smoke. Ain't no problem, Siobhan. Shit. I appreciate y'all for tapping in, even though YouTube playing with my views. It's saying there's 7 people on this bitch. 7 people, 7 likes. How many people are saying on y'all side, y'all? Cause on my side's telling me 7 people and 7 likes. I know that can't be true. It's more than 7 people commenting. What's up, Raymond? Oh, alright, 31. Alright, bet. Thanks. You said 4. How the fuck you say 4 album? 31 and 17 likes. Alright, bet. Yeah, but yo, I honestly think Durk shouldn't even put in for that bail. Shouldn't put in for that bail. Should just said fuck it and fight it out. You don't want to get the feds no ammunition. You don't want to give them nothing they ain't already, you know what I mean? You don't want to give them no clue how you going to fight the case or nothing. It's just fucked up, yo. They keep bringing up old cases. Old cases he haven't been charged with. Like, they keep bringing that shit up to show here flight risk. But that just shows you the lack of evidence they got in this California case. Because, y'all, what you gotta understand, like, this is, they didn't unseal talked about another document that's sealed. They're trying to get somebody's family member killed. A witness or a rat. Like, yo, the only time they do that is if they don't have no other argument. They're not in the unsealing documents just for a bond hearing. If that's the case, why the fuck you seal it? You know what I mean? Common sense would say you sealed it because you didn't want to talk about it. You didn't want people to know you was investigating. But every single time we had these bail hearings, you unsealing more documents. That shows you the lack of evidence. The game plan is to get somebody to crack. They probably gonna postpone his first court date. They probably gonna have Durk and that bitch 2 years fighting that case. Year and a half. Try to crack somebody. Now he's scheduled to go to trial in October. But we'll see. Remember I told y'all. All these goddamn police out this bitch. I can't even speed like I normally do. I normally be balling through this bitch. Get home in 20 minutes. Minutes tops. You hear me? Yeah, that Melly shit, wow. Long Crime just did a piece on Melly. But they ain't going to the $500,000 bond. They said the judge is still determining. He said give him a week. Now, I don't know when they recorded that or what. But we gotta look it up for ourselves for real. At this point, yo, they might as well just drop that shit down to manslaughter. Get that boy time served. They trying to get Melly. They gonna get him. But like I said, that case gonna get overturned in the appeals process. Watch. Watch how fast that YNW Melly, once they convict him. Watch how fast that case get overturned. She gonna be overturned fast as a bitch. All that legal shit they did. Y'all fuck with these? The Nantucket joints. What's up, Edward? Nah, they really trying to get mad at the death penalty. The shit just gonna get overturned. Trying to get Melly. They trying to kill Melly because he made them look bad, yo. They came into this case thinking they had they had everything. They came into this case thinking that they had this boy and he was ready to go to prison for the rest of his life, and he got hung jury. They was mad about that. Then the judge and on. think the judge in on it. But see, people gotta understand about this system, y'all. Y'all remember I covered this story out of Anne Arundel County where this guy's mother reached out to me, right? And she was telling me how the system is doing her son, and she hired a private investigator. Y'all remember that story? Y'all remember that live? And the private investigator uncovered all these audios of the judge talking to the defense and all that wild shit. Well, I just got another message a couple days ago from the daughter saying they didn't lock the mother up. They trying to give her 5 years. I asked her if she want to talk about it because she can relay it better than me, because I ain't got time to look into the case. But to make a long story short, I think the son got 55 years. They withheld evidence. The defense didn't call his witness. A lot of fucked up shit happened. But now the mother is arrested. They didn't lock the mother up, y'all. So she facing 5 years. Do y'all remember that? We did that live probably like 2 months ago. Alright, oh yeah, so you remember Clemson? Yeah, that shit was wild. So now they attacking the mother for seeking justice for her son. It's a dirty game, yo. But that's why I speak about this system the way I do, yo, because I know it's a dirty game. I know it's a dirty game. But they want you to be clean. They want you to play the game flawless. Meanwhile, they playing dirty. Fuck no, we all gonna play dirty if that's the case. And y'all, when we get a chance, y'all, I don't care how long it is from now, yo, we gotta go back into that Tyree Nichols case. I gotta at least hear the opening statements and the closing arguments. Cause I don't understand what happened. Like how they beat that man to death on camera, bragged about it, and get found not guilty. I swear, Rodney Hitton Jr. sounded more and more justified every day. People might not agree he did because he killed somebody innocent, but almost similar to when if you hang with him, you late with him. You know what I mean? That been the tired. Yeah, though, y'all. That's how that shit used to be, though. Ain't denying that, man. See, my thing, like I told y'all yesterday, yo, my thing with the bail shit is, yo, don't bring me to court to do that, y'all. You could have said, you could have denied that man in the text message. We did not have to have a whole court proceeding just for you to deny my bond. We ain't had to do that. Don't give me hope. Do not give me unneeded hope. I don't want that. Yo, but that prosecutor YNW Melly case out here is sharp. I ain't gonna lie, yo got swag. That's very important, yo, if you're a defense attorney or a prosecutor. You gotta have swag, man. Come on, man. Movado. You know what I mean? That's how you convince the jury. It ain't about if he did it or not. It's about what you can convince the jury. Almost home for real. See now, yo, I say they ain't got no case on Durk. Yeah, but that don't mean they won't find him guilty. God, man, we dealing with the feds. I think by now, with all the cases that we covered, we know how they play. Keep bringing up cases he ain't been charged with. To show flight risk or to show danger to the community. That's case charged. Don't keep talking about this shit. Put that shit on paper. Fuck happened, Charlene? You good? Dang, I didn't realize this road was this motherfucking long. Long ass road. Durk just got himself in a tight spot. He's going to fight his way out. I told y'all if I was Durk co-defendant and they had information on me, I'd say I did that shit. He ain't had nothing to do with it. He told me not to book no fights associated with him or nothing. I did it anyway. Being stupid. Boy 600 Breeze said, as long as Lord Tim's still alive, he gonna have war. He gonna have problems with BDs. I believe him. A lot of people don't think what he says is credible, because he don't take care of his kids, so it is kind of hard to believe him. But knowing what I know about, you take somebody like King Von out the equation, that shit don't never end until niggas deceased. As fucked up as it sounds, because Lord Tim was totally justified in how he moved. In 5 minutes. I told you I don't wear no lights this time of night. No cars on the road. Shit, no fucking police coming. Yeah, hell yeah. wonder what Drew Finley be saying, yo, when they bring up them cases he ain't been charged with. Like, yeah, I would have, if I was Drew Finley, I would attack the shit out those points. I'd make it so they'd never bring that shit up again. Dirty motherfuckers. Yo, hit that like button, yo, hit that like button. Meanwhile, something like what? Yo, what you talking about, Durk? Yo, Durk ain't killed nobody. They had a beef, yo. Whatever it started over, it don't even matter. Niggas had a beef. And in the United States, we handle our disagreements with violence. It's the United States, man. It's the American way. Violence is the only answer. Violence is the only... It's only certain people, that's all they respect. They don't respect nothing else but violence. I don't even think I mentioned God, y'all. Did I mention God in anything I was saying? Maybe I did, I'm tired. But I don't remember mentioning God. I thought you brought that up. Yo, in the Bible, know what it says in the Bible? Since you want to bring God into this? It say don't shed innocent blood. That's what the Bible says. I read the whole Bible. I don't know if I told anybody that. It took me 7 months to do it. But the Bible say, yo, don't shed innocent blood. It don't say don't shed blood. You don't shed the blood of the innocent. Them boys wasn't innocent. Did you read that in the Bible, yo? Ain't no love. Did you read that in the Bible, bro? Did you read in the Bible where it say don't shed innocent blood? You heard the prosecutors in Y.W. Melly case said all murder not created equal. Like I say, them boys weren't innocent, so we ain't ready to play like they was. They was playing, they was dissing. They making diss songs, they was trolling. There's consequences for that. The internet just got people thinking that it ain't. There's always been consequences for that. Oh shit. Should I took the 19? I don't know, that ain't true. I don't know, fucking motion light stopped working. I didn't got no ladder to get up that bitch. Hey, my shirt dirty, y'all know I've been at work. I need to find my fucking heating pad. Oh shit. Find my fucking heating pad, fucking neck hurt. I'll get myself together. My man, Scandalous Los Angeles put together another video on Whack. I ain't gonna lie, them videos was funny as shit. Y'all make sure y'all tap in with Scandalous Los Angeles, man.
And I just want to say this for me, man. Listen, I got on here
my son been
only to address the issues that I feel would affect my homeboys around the world who love me, and to address anything so they'll feel comfortable. I'm not on here for no cloud chasing. I'm only on it one reason, for my homeboys in every country, in every state, so they can hear from me. And I appreciate Dùrk, and I appreciate your thoroughness and researching and finding out, because I'm going to say this. Don't ride with me right or wrong. Ride with me only right. Because I'm going to say, if any of my homeboys go bad, I'm going to treat you like you bad. And I backed up off of some people because I heard what I heard. And I backed up off of some people because I heard what I heard. And I say that from my heart.
Oh, welcome back to Scandalous Los Angeles TV, where we expose the exposers. In today's episode, we're shining the spotlight on the ones who've made a career out of attacking Big U. We're going to show you why these so-called exposers went from friends to foes, almost overnight. The truth is, Big U warned us early on. He made it clear. He backed away from certain people after hearing what he heard. And whether we caught it back then or not, he said what needed to be said. All these guys used to stand with him. They praised and loved him. But the moment Big U distanced himself, they flipped and turned their assault on him. Let's not get it twisted. Wack's been working since 2005. Lucy's been telling since 2007. And Love's boys, well, we already know what time it is there.
And, it's been a lot of things going on these last few months, and I really only do this stuff because people bother me, you know what I mean? People bother me, get in my business, lie on me and talk about me. So, we're going to give Big U opportunity for me to leave him alone, Some of y'all know, some of y'all don't. He's spread a lot of lies about me. But the main lie that triggered all of this, was when he lied and told my homies that I don't have a gun license. And if I have a gun license, I'm telling. I can't get a gun license because he was with me when I went to jail. This is what he told me. This is what he told people. He can't get a gun license. I was with him when he went to jail. If he got one, he telling. So, we're going to give you an opportunity, to make things right. I demand an apology, okay? Send this to Big U. I demand an apology for you lying on my name, spreading lies on my name that could have possibly got me harmed, okay?
You just heard Love Boys admit the real reason all of this started. According to him, it all began when Big U said he was telling. And that accusation came from one key detail: the claim that Love Boys had a gun permit. Big U called foul immediately. He said there's no way a convicted felon could legally carry a firearm, let alone get a permit. And he had reason to question it, because he was with Love's boys when the feds grabbed him at the border. For 2 days after that, Love's boys vanished. Big U said not even the bail bondsman could track him down. Then, out of nowhere, Love's boys reappeared, like nothing happened. That's when Big U made a decision. He fell back. He created distance. And according to Love's boys himself, that was the moment this entire situation turned. Now let's talk about Loose Coochie. Because in that no-jumper interview he did with CS2 Back, buried beneath all the lies, exaggerations, and scripted nonsense, there was one statement he made that was actually true. And I'm not sure how many people caught it.
Now let me ask you something, bro, because you know they gon', I know you. See, you don't say nothing. You kind of like me in a way. You don't say nothing unless...
But the homies know. So it's like, it's not like I'm saying something that they don't know. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, for me, it's like you telling me, oh, I'm fucking with the police. It's like you telling me, oh, I'm fucking with the police. Or whatever like that, trying to smooth your background out. So I'm like on 6 I'm going to expose your buster ass neighborhood crib.
You just heard Lucy flat out admit that Big U told him he was messing with the police. And what was Lucy's response? He didn't deny it. Instead, he flipped the script. That moment is the root of why Lucy's doing what he's doing. That's why the silent FBI investigation he had going while he was still around Big U, suddenly turned into a full-blown public assault alongside Porky and Love's boys. Big U called it out, and instead of clearing his name, Lucy launched a campaign. Mark Stevens, Shaquille O'Neal's business manager, a legit millionaire and respected businessman, confirmed something major. He told us flat out, Porky is CS2 back. Porky himself told us to go ask Mark. So we did. And Mark didn't hold back. He said after Big U received the paperwork proving Porky was CS2 back, he sat back and watched as Big U was hit with wave after wave of assault. Public, messy, and coordinated. Just like the two before him, Porky flipped. He turned his secret FBI investigation into a public smear campaign the moment he realized Big U had figured him out. We all saw it unfold. We watched these men move from silence to slander, from undercover to out in the open, the moment their cover got blown. This isn't speculation. It's a pattern. And now, the truth is front and center.
Okay. So, where we was at? Okay. So, at some point, you get a phone call from Whack 100, Cash Jones, and when he contact you, what did he contact you concerning?
He wanted to reach out to Del Dog, rest in peace. And he wanted to give Del Dog some information that he had gotten from Stutterbox, right? It's like he was getting information from Stutterbox on what his plan was and what the get down was going to be. And he wanted to talk to the homie and talk to him. And Dog wasn't getting on the line with him. And he kept blowing me up because he wanted me to get him on the line.
What smart man. Rest in peace to Del Dog, man. So he's talking about the phones is being compromised. Is that one of the things that he told you?
Well, the homie Del Dog never trusted dude. You follow me?
Right.
So Dog didn't know was the lines compromised or was they wired up for sound or not. He just wasn't gonna chance it. You follow me?
Right.
But it was later on.
I want to chance it even.
It was later on after they took the case to they was taking it all away because the homie ain't had no choice. You know, he was facing a life sentence, so he had to take it all away. And with all the lawyers that was involved, they was able to get the discovery, and that's when we found out that the lines was compromised.
And as soon when you get the discovery, was part of that the actual wiretap?
The whole transcript. I got the whole transcripts. The whole transcripts of the whole wiretaps.
And do you in that paperwork? Do you see your conversation with Do you see your conversation with Cash Jones in them transcripts?
That was the initiating. That was the initiating when they started recording.
Right.
Dirty bastard.
Right. And how did they refer to Cash Jones?
In the paperwork they put him as back. BACK. And
right.
I kept asking
Dirty bitch.
the lawyer, like, who the fuck is I ain't talked to no back. And they said, nah, that's Wax. But they put him as back because he a blood. So it's back. I said, oh, okay.
And was this back also referred as confidential source number 2?
Yes, sir.
Correct. Well, man, I'm glad that the truth was able to come out. And it's sad.
But bigger than that, homie, right? You know, I watched dude, man. He said some things about the big homie Shaq, you know, that wasn't true. He said some things Like he been trying to destroy the big homie Big U name, and I'm seeing and watching this, and I called the big homie U. We was talking. I said, "Yo, when you get into it, cause I had what I had for years, and when I gave it to the homie, I said, man, you read it, because it was a big ass textbook of shit." And the homie just sided with what was right. He said, "I can't fuck with dude no more," and that was the end of that.
Until Wack started attacking, and that's when Wack started attacking him with false allegations and all of this online weird shit, right?
Correct, because because the homie Big U asked me why I didn't fuck with it, and I said, when you pull up, I'm gonna show you. I want you to read it. And when he read it, he was like, "Oh, okay, I see why you don't fuck with it. I can't fuck with it."
The man's right.
And that was it.
Wait, how long was it from when you first got it that you let you in Atlanta to show him the work?
I got the paperwork from the attorneys probably in, I want to say 12 or 13, because
that boy working a long ass time.
You know, remember the
lifetime
it happened in 07, 06, 07, but Box had went to prison. He called a drug case, so he went to prison, and they waited to almost the last month of the statute to go get the homies from Main Street. Right. So it had been about a 5-year period from the time that had happened to the time that they came and got the big homies. And then once how did you feel about you waiting that long now? Well, he chastised me, and I never, one of the things, bro, and it's like it's the slippery slope, as people say, right? Like on one end, Wack, the nigga, he wasn't doing no harm, right? He was just trying to move around and be the tough guy. Okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? My whole thing is, okay, that's what you want to do, cool. But then it went from that to, I heard what he was saying about the big homie Shaq, and then I heard what he said about Big U, and that's when I picked up the phone. I said, "Hey, you, man,
let me expose
I want you to read something, man." And then once you read it, once you know, you know. That's Quran. That's the Holy Quran. Once you know, you know. You're accountable for what you know.
Yeah.
And when he read it, he said, "Okay, I see why you don't fuck with dude. I can't fuck with dude." He said, "Okay, I see why you don't fuck with dude. I can't fuck with dude." He said, "Okay, I see why you don't fuck with dude. I can't fuck with dude." And that was it. Let me tell you something, man. I probably haven't seen nor talked to Wack in years, and I wish everybody success and happiness.
Yeah, he was.
But not on the basis of
Big
lies.
U got on his ass about it.
Right.
And not on the
and really indicative of your character, Mark, because you have a whole campaign publicly of a brother that's heavy in our community positively, helping get these kids graduated from school and into football and all of these other positive things. And he smutting his name through the mud just because he decided not to deal with it.
Brother, well put. Look, I call the homie Big U all the time. I call him the naked truth. And he always be like, "Why you call me the naked truth?" I said, "Because Wack is the well-dressed lie."
It's like Jane Dale.
It's an old parable about truth and lie when swimming. And, lie jumped out the water and put on truth clothes. So you had a well-dressed lie, but then truth got out the water and it was naked. So you got the naked truth that's trying to run down a well-dressed lie. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I mean, it is what it is with the homies.
Well, yeah, man. Well, I know you a businessman and you stay on positive shit, man. I'm sorry that we had to even delve into these negative accusations that got a lot of people, good people, name caught up in it. but we needed to get the truth. Where truth appeared, falsehood disappeared, man. And I wanted to hear that for myself, man.
Man, hey man, I appreciate you, man, and God bless. But like I said, man, it's a lot of things is just a well-dressed lie. That's all I can say.
Right, and that's what Cass Jones is. He is the well-dressed lie.
Yeah, and Big U was the naked truth. It is what it is. He always stood on the side of truth. He ain't never waiting from that. From the time I gave him that paperwork,
yeah,
I watched him take assault after assault.
It was way to get in the game.
He did the right thing.
The
He
trick
just
the
said,
people.
I can't fuck with you.
And I'm so glad that he ain't responded publicly to these negative lies.
Yo, remember, we learned, that the feds, they know what to do, man. Basically, we learned that shit when we was looking at the Black Panther nigga and the nigga that took down the freedom fighters. I mean, the Watts library. I mean, what was it? The Watts writer shot. We learned, that the feds study the black community. Study it. So they know what to do, to infiltrate. They've been doing this since the 80s, since the 70s. It's 2025. They know what to do. That's where WAC come into play, man. Come on, y'all. It was always strange, the amount he screamed on Pyru. That was very odd. For him to now disassociate himself, say he ain't no gangbanger, and he, come on, bro, you was just on Pyru every day, all day, more 2 times a day. Like this shit was weird as a bitch.
Above that shit, let him stay low, and you just stay high. Don't let this man trick you up off the street or the feeling like you gotta address every lie he makes up every day.
Well, and then you gotta understand too, bro. It's like I told you about throwing a rock and hiding your hand. What's the motive for throwing the rock to begin with? What's the motive for throwing the rock to begin with? What's the motive for throwing the rock to begin with? Like, we know the rock is being thrown, but what's the motive?
Back then, Mark Stevens asked a simple but powerful question. We see Porky doing all this, but what's the motive? At the time, that question hung in the air. But now, after everything we've seen unfold, the answer couldn't be clearer. Porky is CS2 back, and he's been working the entire time. Now it all makes sense. Every move, every smear, every so-called exposure, it was all part of the same operation.
Only thing I saw the homie Big U do, put out a great documentary on hip-hop. I seen a man putting these kids through college and sending them, I'm trying to understand what's the motive, or is a motive that we can't comprehend because we don't think on those levels. You feel me?
Hey, that's perfectly said. And I'm going to tell you this, in all of my life, being from the community of South Central Los Angeles, only time I ever heard of a public artificial dissemination of disinformation was through COINTELPRO and J. Edgar Hoover, man.
Facts.
And I'm just gonna drop that jewel.
Man, see the do Simons, man.
Man, I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all have a good day, man.
Likewise,
all right, salam alaikum.
Told y'all. It's the same play. They run, my bad, I gotta put the heat pad on. Fucking neck hurt. They run the same plays, man. It's the same plays over and over and over. They just use different people to do it. This ain't nothing but COINTELPRO 2025. When you got all these guys that infiltrated and push ignorance and get people arrested and talk about other people's cases, it's dirty as a motherfucker. It's dirty. Filthy. Let me see something. See if we're having that Dùrk court hearing. See if Flint Flam sent me anything. Yeah, 17 hours ago. Oh, Smokey Robinson. This Smokey Robinson lawsuit. Y'all want to read Smokey Robinson lawsuit? How many pages in it? 27. I ain't reading all 27. So what are they saying about old Smokey? What the fuck? All right. Y'all want to read Smokey Robinson? Yo, can y'all see this? Is this clear? Yo, let me know if this is clear or not. If it's not clear, let me know. Can everybody see this clearly? Because sometimes y'all don't be saying enough, and I look at the replay, and that shit do not be clear. All right, good. All right. So plaintiff Jane Doe 1 realleges and incorporates by reference paragraphs 1 through 10 as set forth here in 4. Jane Doe 1 began working for the defendant as their housekeeper at their Chatworth residence on January 3rd, 2023 until February, this recent, 2024, when she was forced to resign due to defendant Smokey Robinson repeated sexual assault and sexual harassment against her. The first sexual assault occurred in March 2023, and it continued until her forced resignation in February 2024. Jane Doe 1 worked on the weekends for the defendant when the rest of his staff was off. On a typical Saturday, defendant Smokey Robinson would take defendant Frances Robinson to the nail salon, they saw the wife too, and would rush home, knowing that he would be home alone with plaintiff Jane Doe 1. Upon returning home, defendant Smokey Robinson will call her into a blue bedroom, lock the door, and escort their Doug Shiloh out of the room. He will have showered and clothed only in his underwear. He then neatly placed a white towel on the bed, not to soil the bed lines, in preparation for what was about to occur. Oh my God, come on now. She was fucking. Why the fuck this shit keep starting me over? Shit acting stupid. Defendant Smokey Robinson would then begin to kiss Jane Doe 1 in the mouth, neck, and breast. Then he would roughly penetrate her with his fingers, orally copulate her, and proceed to penetrate her with his, causing her great pain. Come on now, she lying. Defendant Smokey Robinson enjoyed in her without using a condom. Jane Doe 1 protests and resists his sexual assault, but to no avail. In a desperate, this is an 80-something-year-old man. In a desperate attempt to get him to stop his sexual assault, she would proclaim, "You're married," to which he would casually ignore. Who filed this suit? Hold up, y'all. We gotta find out who filed this suit. It better not be Tony Busby. All right. This is filed in California. Hey, she on some bullshit. She was fucking. Defendant Smokey Robinson sexually assaulted Jane Doe 1 in a manner at least 7 times. The last assault occurred on February 17, 2024, prompting her forced resignation on February 24, 2024. Jane Doe 1 was unwilling to report defendant Smokey Robinson's unlawful acts to authorities due to her fear of losing her livelihood. Familiar reprisal, public embarrassment, shame, and humiliation to her and her family. The possible adverse effects on her immigration status, as well as her being threatened and intimidated by defendant Smokey Robinson's well-recognized celebrity status and his influential friends and associates. Defendant Francis Robinson failed to take the appropriate corrective action to prevent defendant Smokey Robinson's deviant misconduct against Jane Doe 1, despite having full knowledge of his prior acts of sexual misconduct, having settled cases with other women that suffered and experienced similar sexual assaults perpetuated by him. Defendant Francis Robinson also perpetuated a hostile work environment by regularly screaming at Jane Doe 1 in a hostile manner, using unethical, pejorative words and language. During Jane Doe 1 employed with defendants, she worked 10 hours per day, 3 days a week, at a rate of 18 hours per hour. They failed to pay minimum wage or pay overtime wages for the hours worked in the excess of 8 hours, nor provide rest or lunch breaks. She will work on holidays. All right, Jane Doe 2 began working for the defendant as a housekeeper at their Chatworth residence and or about May 14th until February 2022. May 2014 until February 2022, when she was forced to resign due to defendant Smokey Robinson's repeated sexual assaults and sexual harassment against her. Defendant Smokey Robinson's brutal sexual advances were constant and even predictable throughout her employment with defendant. Defendant Smokey Robinson's sexual assaults began in the late part of 2016 when they were home alone. He would text message her, ask her to meet him at areas at their Chatworth residence where closed circuit cameras weren't located. He would then summon her to either the laundry room or garage where there were no cameras. When arriving, he would immediately grab her and begin penetrating her with his fingers, causing her excruciating pain, and would proceed to ard her. Defendant Robinson also forced her into a blue room and made her perform oral sex on him. Therefore, he would proceed to forcibly penetrate her without using a condom and bust on her face, much to his satisfaction and her abject humiliation. Defendant Robinson sexually assaulted her in this manner on at least 23 different occasions. Yo, come on now. Come on now, yo. This is crazy. Defendant Smokey Robinson would threaten her that if she refused to have sex with him, he would make defendant Francis Robinson to be mean to her, which she was very capable of being. Jane Doe 2 was unwilling to report defendant Smokey Robinson. All right, let's get to that. So what is it, 2 girls? Jane Doe 3. Let's see what Jane Doe 3 said. Jane Doe 3 began working for the defendant as a housekeeper at their Chatworth residence in or about February 2012 until April 2024. So they all was working together. When she was forced to resign due to defendant Smokey Robinson, defendant repeatedly sexually harassed, sexually assaulted, and raped her during most of her entire employment with defendant. Defendant Smokey Robinson will force her into the blue bedroom. The blue bedroom, it got wicked in the blue bedroom. No sex in the champagne room. Y'all remember no sex in the champagne room? Where after he would perform his ritual of exiting the bathroom nude or wearing only underwear after showering, and then carefully placing the towel on the bed not to soil the linens for what was about to occur. So, yo, she just sitting there watching while he's doing all of that. Come on now. He would then disrobe Jane Doe 3 and then orally copulate her. Then he would force her to lie face down on a towel so that he could penetrate her. Defendant Smokey Robinson repeatedly argued Jane Doe 3 in a manner at least 20 times. On one occasion, when Jane Doe 3 resisted his advances, defendant Smokey Robinson offered Jane Doe 3 $500 to allow him to orally copulate her, and she refused. When not attempting to penetrate her, defendant Smokey Robinson would make unwanted advances against her, touching her breast, vagina, and kissing her on the neck and her mouth. Oh my God. They all saying the same goddamn thing. Jane Doe 4 began working for the defendant as a housekeeper at their Chatworth residence, including Van defended Francis Robinson, personal assistant, cook, and hairdresser in or about October 2006 up until April 22nd, 2024, when she was forced to resign due to defendant Smokey Robinson repeated sexual assaults and sexual harassment against her. Defendant Smokey Robinson first sexually assaulted her in 2007 when she accompanied him to his Las Vegas home. Yo, this is bullshit. Yo, this is bullshit, man. They probably was all foreigners. That's what they're gonna use. I was scared to get deported. I thought I had to. That's what they're gonna do. While they were alone with him, defense Smokey Robinson forced her into his bedroom in Arda. The sexual assault continued there and other places. In or about mid-2019, Jane Doe 4 was asked by defendant Smokey Robinson to accompany him to his temporary residence located in Bell Canyon. To clean. While cleaning the master bedroom, defendant Smokey Robinson showered and returned to his bedroom naked with an erect. He then proceeded to pull back the sheets and carefully placed the towel down after sorting linens for what was about to occur. He then began to kiss her breast, neck, and proceeded to orally copulate her and then ard her. Defense Smokey Robinson would often create a situation or seize the opportunity where he would be alone with Jane Doe 4 at their residence. When the other housekeepers would leave the residence, defendant Smokey Robinson would summon her to the blue bedroom while sitting naked on his bed. He would then lock the door and place a towel on the bed. After doing so, he would pull Jane Doe 4 clothes off and against her protestations, push her down on the bed and proceed to her. Defendant Smokey Robinson never used a condom during sexual assault, ejaculating. Well, why ain't none of these women had no kids? Oh, fucking well, go. They never get pregnant. Defendant Smokey Robinson will constantly admire and touch Jane Doe's breast, kiss her on the neck, and force his tongue into her mouth. This sexual harassment and assaults continued to the very day she decided to resign her employment with the defendant. I don't believe none of that shit, y'all. That's a bunch of bullshit. That's a bunch of bullshit. My bad, y'all.
In the NBA, yep. That's remarkable. In
Kenya
itself,
Martin
man.
linked on
So,
Nick Young. Why you picking on Nick Young, Kenya?
Yeah. I'm trying not to tell Nick shut the fuck up while I'm talking. While I'm talking,
We were talking about Greg Popovich, his legacy.
like just fucking rude. Just nobody give a fuck
Yeah,
about
for
your phone,
real.
niggas over
Yeah,
here talking about
fuck
something
up.
important.
He over here talking.
Yeah, you're about the wrong fucking thing, nigga.
And you want to talk like you on the poetry.
Yeah, we talking about this man legacy.
Like all you want.
We're talking about this man legacy over here. You fucking being disrespectful, nigga.
This is Gil's Arena presented
Y'all
by
look the same age, so it's
Right?
like,
Yeah, he can't say you want to make a joke. Ain't shit funny right now, nigga.
keep talking about pop.
Ain't shit funny.
Pop.
Nigga.
Shit. Let me
Everything ain't nobody want to
No,
see
I
that
don't believe
dumbass
that shit
shit
at
you
all,
showing,
bro.
nigga.
Don't be scared to look at me.
Like,
Scared, nigga.
I'm over here. Yeah, this dumbass nigga over here trying to conduct the motherfucking show and you over here
You
just
want to
constantly.
talk.
We're trying to, nigga. Shut
They
the
need
fuck
the
up.
job,
God
bro.
damn, I don't have to shut up. I'm
The one
showing
niggas
you
talking,
something.
you do,
I
nigga.
didn't say nothing. He said something.
Shut the
You
fuck
said
up.
something. I don't have to shut
You
up.
the one niggas can hit.
Now
Ain't
I'm
nobody
gonna
hear
shut
him.
up. Now
Ain't
I'm never
nobody
gonna
hear him.
shut up. I'm never gonna shut up now.
Sorry, Pop.
Can you give Pop a smoke a little?
Pop, for the basketball guys.
Can we get a little smoke for Pop?
Hey,
Pop with the
mad
basketball.
for no reason.
Nigga over trying to have a real conversation.
All
Nigga,
right,
shut
you
up.
can have it, nigga. I don't have
Trying
to shut
to
up.
shut
Man,
up.
I didn't say nothing. Don't tell me to shut up,
You're a
nigga.
fucking child. Shut
All
up
right.
sometimes.
Like we're
Shut up, nigga.
Nigga, shut up.
we are showing love to
Shut up.
Greg
Nigga,
Popovich.
don't fucking
You shut up.
shut
You shut
up.
up.
Hey man, at the end of the show, we are showing love. We're trying to show love. Show love to Greg Popovich.
Talking to you, directly
All
to
right,
you.
stop talking to me like that. All right.
Talking to you, nigga.
All right. And I'm
You ain't gonna talk to
and
him.
I'm
His tenure as head coach, there's been over 3.
Yeah, why Kenya Martin going at Nick Young like that? I don't respect it. Nick Young don't bother nobody, man. He don't need to come off as aggressive. You know what I mean? That man don't need to come off as aggressive, man. Coming at that boy like that. Brian McKnight sues Jaguar Wright. Damn, Flim Flam on the road today. Why Brian McKnight suing Jaguar Wright? Now see the Flim Flam, man. She on the roll. Defamation. Jaguar Wright is being sued for defamation. The defamation action arises from numerous videos posted on various social media platforms by Miss Jacqueline Wright under the name Jaguar. In the videos, Miss Wright claims she is the cousin of Mr. Brian McKnight, Mr. McKnight's ex-wife, Miss Julie McKnight. Additionally, Miss Wright made statements that Mr. McKnight had been abusive to not only prostitutes but to his wife, Miss Julia Knight. Prostitutes he had beaten up that my cousin caught him with just before that, and how he beat her up for catching him with the chicks, and that he's a piece of shit father, and he was even a worse husband. What the fuck? That's what right just be said. I need that. Plaintiff Brian McKnight is an individual, or Jacqueline Wright is an individual who, upon information and belief, in the past years resided in the state of Texas, Nevada, and California. Ms. Wright made numerous public statements on various video recordings that falsely implied that Mr. McKnight was abusive to Miss McKnight during their marriage and was a terrible husband and father, and would pay said prostitutes extra to allow him to physically harm them. That Jaguar Wright be wild, yo. She work with them people too, for real. Yeah, man, they got men and women work with them people. She work with them people too. Talking about prostitutes. You see what's going on with Diddy. She trying to get him in a freako. She trying to put Brian McKnight in a freako, y'all. Wright verbally stated in various video recordings. Alright, so she basically just said he was abusive and he liked them hoes. They took it all back to 2022. Wright accused her Instagram account to access her Instagram account to produce a live video stream to state false and defaming statements about Mr. McKnight. Ms. Wright began her live video by informing those watching the live video that in those who will view later the video of the music she was listening to, and made the statement, "It's Christmas and I'm giving honesty and truth and gift. You know as a gift this year." Ms. Wright stated in her live video that there's another asshole I need to say Merry Christmas to. Ms. Wright stated that she came to the conclusion after coming across a video on YouTube that was discussing Master P and Brian McKnight and exposing their ungrateful children, to which she discussed Master P. She began to discuss Mr. McKnight. Ms. Wright immediately stated her relationship with Mr. McKnight, ex-wife, is my cousin, Julia Johnson. And now Julia Johnson, followed by the statement that Miss McKnight was the mother of Mr. McKnight's first children and then produced to defame and ridicule him as a father. She's the mother of his oldest children, his first children. He was a piece of shit father, and he was an even worse husband. As the live video continued, Ms. Wright claimed to know things about Brian that most people do not know, but failed to acknowledge that she in fact did not know Mr. McKnight. She continued false statements in her live stream video by stating, "Yo, these people is wild, yo. Like, yo, who does this? Like, you just making shit up on the nigga for views." There was a pro in Philly, and I've spoken about her before. Her name, well, she danced by the name Paris. She was dancing at Delays down Spring Garden in Delaware Avenue, the same time that Amber Rose, was when she met Kanye West. Brian was one of my girlfriends from high school. Klein. But see, the things that most people don't know is that this nigga got a real sick fetish because he used to pay extra so that he could choke her out and punch her in the fucking eye. He did, yo, what the fuck? And then he would just sit there and fuck her and beat her and fuck her and beat her. Sometimes I would go and pick her up after the calls. Yo, what the fuck, Jaguar, right, yo? Like, yo, who does this, yo? Yo, this is police activity. She a police. I think people is overlooking Jaguar Wright and her affiliation to law enforcement. I'm telling you, y'all, a lot of these people are agents. It's a lot of agents on the internet. It's a lot of agents on the internet. And I'll forget the one time I came to pick up after she had been with Brian, and it was just nuts. Her eye was all black, lips sitting out. He loosened her tooth. Wright knew, or should have known, these statements were false, but chose to state them in public. Miss Wright made the false accusation that Mr. McKnight would physically abuse Miss McKnight and women. Miss Wright attempted to support her narrative by stating that when she found out later, through my friend Jovan Pearson, who was very, 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 very good friends with my cousin Julia McKnight Johnson, found out there was abuse going on in the house. Ms. Wright failed to verify if the statements provided by Jovan Pearson and Mr. Pearson were factually prior to sharing them in her live video. To further her defamatory statements of Mr. McKnight, Ms. McKnight mocked one of Mr. McKnight's well-known songs, Back at One. Mr. One, a nightmare come true. Two, just want you, what? Mr. One, a nightmare come true. To just want to beat on you. Fuck her. Fuck Brian McKnight. This shit's crazy, yo. I ain't reading all this shit, yo. Let's see what she said this time. She continued to make the false statement and defaming statements regarding Mr. McKnight that she previously made in her Instagram live video on December 25th, 2022. In the video, Ms. Wright began by discussing the rape by Ike on Tina Turner and then immediately compared it to Mr. McKnight, his song, Back at One. Ms. Wright made the notion that Mr. McKnight, his song, was not inspired by such admiring and love events that the public believed inspired him, but was inspired by a complete opposite. Or Brian McKnight going into the studio and recording one in all with a wonderful, great song. But if anybody knew about the prostitute he had beaten up that my cousin caught him with just before that, and he beat her up for catching him with the chick, that's where the song came from. Hey, I'm done, yo. I'm not reading all that shit. Plus, I'm tired. Yo, it's hard for me to read when I'm tired. I be fucking up. Jaguar Wright crazy as motherfucker. Yo, so Finesse 2 Times was in court today, y'all. Finesse 2 Times is facing 12 to 17 months on a probation violation. That's fucked up, yo. They did Finesse bad, man. I mean, he did it to himself, though, for not cutting sugar off. But they did Shorty bad. They did Shorty bad. It might be karma. It might be karma for what he did to Honeycomb Brazy. You know what I mean? That shit did the honeycomb braids was flawed as a bitch. Shit was flawed. Yo, see the Bobby Shmurda too, man. Yo, Bobby Shmurda, yo, supposed to have a show. They got canceled. But Bobby Shmurda deserves respect because Bobby Shmurda kept it real. He ain't telling on nobody. He did his time. I don't know what happened with his rap career. But as far as him as a man, he ain't going outside like a lot of these niggas, even though he be dancing crazy. But I think that's just that Jamaican shit that them New York niggas be on.
We got a mini tour coming up. I'm be releasing soon. I want y'all to get ready for that. And I also want to apologize to all the blogs. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I shot somebody's sister when I was growing up. I don't know if I shot somebody's brother. I don't know if I robbed somebody when I was growing up. But this week, next week, and this week and the next week, I'm going to be posting a lot of things that we're going to be doing. And I do want some support from the blogs. Not that support that all the support that I'm getting from, like, you know, academics, No Jumper, motherfucking Angelina Jolie, whatever the fuck her name is, you know what I'm saying? Because we got a mini tour coming up on the point blank. Yeah, they hating. But listen. I just want this to say, I'll be dropping a lot of music, right? And the point that niggas don't support what I'm doing, but they support all the motherfucking bullshit that niggas is going on, all the fake shit that niggas is doing. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. And I ain't finished. The point blank. Yeah, they hating.
Man, see the Bobby Shmurda, man. Fuck that rap shit, nigga. You already made it, nigga. Look at this fuck boy right here. I don't know who he is. Yo, but I can't stand these niggas. The fuck is the name of your shit? The Homie House. I can't stand these niggas that talk like that. He got 170,000 followers talking crazy. Listen to this nigga, y'all. Like, oh, these niggas couldn't have no conversation with me. These the type of nigga, they can't have a debate. They just gotta talk. Because if a motherfucker pull their card, they wouldn't be able to hold up. Listen to this nigga though.
I say this on every podcast because it's very important to talk to black people. Let me explain something to you. Jewish people run this country and they have more money than everybody. But you know what? They did not come here that way. They came here and they took the job that nobody wanted. They didn't say, I deserve to live good. No, it's not. You have to listen. They didn't say, I deserve to feel good. They didn't say, we just survived the Holocaust. We deserve goodness. No, they knew the world was ugly. And they said, we're going to do what we got to do, but here's what we're going to do. The one thing they did that we have to do, they said, our kids only have 3 options. They're either going to be a lawyer, a doctor, or in finance. That is why Jewish people run so much, because entertainment wasn't as prevalent when they first came over here, and all these people became lawyers and doctors, and lawyers became the guys who ran the business.
Exactly,
like, all these guys were lawyers. So the thing about our community that we just don't want to do is fucking sacrifice something. I say this on every podcast because it's there.
This nigga is stupid. Hey, yo, look. He thought, hey, yo. He thought he ate that. He thought he killed that tick. Yo, he thought that tick was the one. Yo, that shit sound fucking foolish. Yo, Jews still get reparations. They still get reparations, man. Like, yo, these niggas be weirdos. Like, yo, stop speaking on the community if you not smart enough. If you don't know the history. Yo, he just talked to however many people watched that shit. Niggas shared it. Thinking he probably agreed with him. And he is dead fucking wrong. All the way wrong. Like, He ain't say nothing right. Dumbass, let's take those stupid ass glasses off, nigga. Funny looking ass, nigga. Now I don't understand how do these people accumulate followings? Like, who follows this nigga? Like, talking like that, boy, you's a bozo, nigga. Had that conversation with me, now make your ass look foolish. Stupid ass nigga.
I don't know. I don't really have a problem with Kanye. To be honest with you, I don't know where it stemmed from. What happened? Like, oh yeah, I guess he put out that's what happened now I think about it. He put out a record and saying he had sex with his cousin. And like I said, I knew Kanye for 20 plus years now. And I said, and don't get me wrong, I'm not downplaying people being molested or anything like that. But it sounded like he was doing the molesting from the way he was telling it. And we talked about it. And I guess when I talk, people get upset. You know, when my words hurt, I don't know why my words hurt more than anybody else's words, but I guess when I say shit, that shit sting. Because it lasts with people for months and years and decades. And then they just be like, this motherfucker, no, I'm doing is telling what really happened. So Kanye was talking about he did a record and his cousin's in jail doing. I don't know. I don't really have a problem with Kanye. I don't even know what that means, bro. For a murder, something like that. I'm actually trying to find the cousin. I want to interview the cousin. I'm trying to find, so anybody who knows this cousin that he's talking about and what jail he's in, we're willing to go to the jail to do the interview with the cousin who's been molested doing life right now.
No need to interview the cousin, y'all. Yeah, it's probably one of the few times I agree with Cameron. Where's the cousin, y'all? Niggas gotta get the cousin point of view on this claim that Kanye West made, yo, because that shit was wild and unnecessary and pointless.
Actually on the hunt to find him personally at this personal moment, to find out exactly if what Kanye did to him led to him being in this situation right now. Because Kanye said this is potentially why he could be doing life in jail, because he molested his younger cousin. So I talked about it, and I mentioned the fact that Kanye said that he molested his cousin. And I was like, yo, people be conveniently gay, and I wasn't necessarily talking about him, even though I never heard him mention anything gay. Because it's in style, it seems like, with certain people. And I'm not saying that people who ain't gay. First of all, let's be clear with me. If you gay, I like the fact that you admit that you gay. I don't like people that's in the closet life.
Yeah, we gotta hear from the cousin, y'all, because I think that was a wild ass claim.
And they act like they straight. Just look, we in 2025. You gay, nigga. It's all good. If you like sucking dick on your personal time, that's what you like to do.
Yo, this nigga
I can't get mad at that. That's what you like to do. Just don't hide it. Don't be around secretly with niggas and you want to suck dick and niggas ain't on that.
All right,
niggas want to suck.
All right, that's enough, Cam. We ain't trying to hear anything. Too much dick sucking going on. Trying to yell that. Lord Durk denied bail again. He smiled at the crowd of about 20 supporters as he was remanded. I don't know why he even filed for another bail. So Durk attorneys have filed a motion in LA asking them to be released on home detention. The FBI has linked Chicago rapper Lord Durk to a second murder file. That must be the old shit. Feds meanwhile reveal a filing today that Lord Durk allegedly offered a bounty to kill a family member of a witness. That nigga jammed on a lot of telling, boy. God damn. That nigga is, that bitch just telling it all. You snitch ass nigga. Yeah, hell yeah, Quentin. We ain't want that. He you know, I just be saving shit. I don't be watching it before I save it. I see the title and save it. But I ain't know he was doing all that. Yeah, man. I would never be played if I knew he was doing all that. Yo, but Durk father spoke out about Durk.
What's your son holding up?
Oh, he's strong, focused. You see the smile that was on his face, both during the time and afterwards of her ruling. He's still smiling, he's still strong. He's standing on his faith, you know, and believing that God will make a way for us.
How's your son holding up?
Oh, he's strong, focused.
Yo, he got his father in his corner, man. They're gonna be all right no matter how it go. You know, shit, man. You know how that shit go, man. You gotta stand on your decision making. Tyree Nichols. Yeah, we gotta look into the Tyree Nichols situation. We ain't gonna be able to do it tonight though, but we gotta find time to look into that shit for real, because I don't know how that happened. Like, how you beat a man to death on camera and get found not guilty. And they're having a hard time trying to seat jurors in Diddy trial, as expected.
Jury selection is nearly complete in the federal sex crimes trial of Sean Diddy Combs, and it has been an eventful week. One juror admitted to doom-scrolling memes, another was too tired from binge-watching Andor, one had even worked with the judge. I'm going to talk with our very own law and crime reporter Elizabeth Milner to break down what to expect on the final day of jury selection and what's ahead in this highly anticipated trial. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Jury selection entered its third day yesterday on May 7th in the high-profile sex crimes trial of Sean Diddy Combs, as prosecutors and defense attorneys officially narrowed down a pool of 45 potential jurors. Now, the final panel will decide the fate of the 55-year-old music mogul who faces charges of sex trafficking, racketeering, transportation to engage in prostitution. If convicted of some of the most serious charges, he could face life in prison. So by the end of the proceedings yesterday, you had 45 prospective jurors secured for selection. And of that group, meaning what I'm saying is they're going to move forward to the next stage of the process when court resumes on Friday. Of that group, you're going to have 12 jurors who are selected and 6 alternates who are selected. There's going to be a combination of preemptory challenges from the prosecution and the defense to whittle that number down, but it's going to be interesting to see what ultimately happens, because this selection process has delved into very sensitive topics. Each juror had to be asked whether they or someone close to them had experience with sexual assault, harassment, domestic violence, maybe they've been accused of crimes, and they've been quite transparent. At least that's what it seems to have been. They've been transparent about these issues. And this case, by the way, has evolved significantly over the past several months. The indictment has been amended multiple times. There have been several superseding indictments. Right now, we have the third superseding indictment in which Combs faces 5 criminal counts. 1 count of racketeering conspiracy, 2 counts of sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. Now, before we go any further into this and we'll talk about what we can expect for tomorrow, I want to bring on our very own law and crime reporter, Elizabeth Milner, who is at the courthouse for jury selection. She is going to be there, by all accounts, every day of this trial, particularly next week when we think everything's going to start up. Good to see you. Thanks for taking the time before your life gets quite busy.
Of course.
So what were some of the highlights from this week of jury selection, and particularly when you were in the court?
Yeah, of course. I think the biggest highlight was just that everybody from all these different walks of life were inside that courtroom to pretty much be qualified to see whether or not that they can move into the next process as far as being an actual juror on this very, very high profile trial. I think some of the memorable moments for me were just one, the transparency amongst these prospective jurors. You know, they had to talk about, past trauma. They had to talk about where they had worked. They had to talk about their personal lives as far as whether or not they had kids, they're married. They had to talk about what type of publications and news outlets that they get their news from. They had to talk about, their social media habits, especially when it comes to this particular case. Like some of the prospective jurors did admit to, for example, doom scrolling, liking some posts that they perceived to be pretty funny, just about the case overall in general. Some people were very forthcoming as to whether or not they had seen any of the documentary. And surprisingly, a lot of these prospective jurors did say that they could be fair and impartial. And that's even including some who have even seen the CNN video, that of the 2016 Intercontinental Hotel of Diddy allegedly assaulting Cassie, you know, and of course we have to still say allegedly and all of that sort. But as far as jury selection goes, I'm surprised at how quickly the process is going, because I remember on Monday speaking about it, I was like, no way can they get a jury seated in this week for this high profile of a trial. It was very efficient, exactly, from the moment that they brought in these jurors to the questions that they were asking. Even Diddy himself inside that courtroom seemed very involved as far as what type of jurors that he would particularly like to be on his case, potentially, because again, they still have to dwindle that number down from 45 to 18, so they still have to knock off a lot of prospective jurors. Now, they're not going to be in court on Friday, but we still could get a very good glimpse as to who these 18 individuals will be, especially if they have to report back on Monday.
Hey, so look, I know a lot of you out there might be true crime fans, but are you also in a business of some kind? If so, let me tell you real quick about our sponsor.
We got to dive more into this shit, motherfucking later. I'm tired as a motherfucker, y'all. Right versus 12 o'clock, but I did want to go live because I want to talk about the Durk shit. I honestly think that Durk shouldn't even try to even attempt the bail. No, it wasn't happening. Diddy trial race start. I still think he gonna get found not guilty. If not everything, definitely the sex trafficking. He's not gonna get found guilty in no sex trafficking. Diddy ain't doing no life in prison. I doubt that shit wholeheartedly. What's up, Hot Mo? Yeah, man. But shit, I appreciate everybody that tapped in. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, hit that like button. I gotta get up in 3 hours. You know what I mean? I might go live in the morning on the way back home from drop my kids off. So probably go live at like 8. It's another day of Keep It G News.